Do you wish you would have waited before speaking initially?
I supported a friend. That's what I thought I did. I'm proud that I did. I think if you've known somebody and worked with somebody or worked with them for 36 years and known them for 48 years, you went to school with them, I think you owe a debt of allegiance and gratitude for what he did for the program, and that's what my reaction was, and so be it.
Coach, do you think there's a chance he will coach with you again?
Coach, you got 2 standing ovations today before the game. What that mean?
You know, I've never worried about any ovations. I go out there, I don't want an ovation. I want the ovations to go for the players. That's what it's about. I'm the coach. You know, one other thing. I think there's a misconception, and this is a good opportunity. I may be able to clear some up. Not anything about this investigation. A few years ago, we decided to go to the ACC. Back a few years. I wasn't consulted and shouldn't have been. This time we decided to go to the ACC. I wasn't consulted and shouldn't be. We hired a new athletic director a few years ago. I wasn't consulted. I wasn't on the panel. They didn't ask me to say hello, and it should be that way. When they hired the chancellor, I didn't even know where she was from. And it should be that way. That's the way it's always been at Syracuse University. I have zero say in who's hired, fired, assigned, whatever you want to say. Period. I have say in who starts and what plays we run. Sometimes they don't run the play I ask them, but like to start the second half night, we got that layup there, that shot and the dunk. I called those 2 plays.
You also have say over your assistants, I would assume.
You know, my assistants work for me, and I have absolute say on everything that they do in the basketball program. What people do outside the program, I have very little, if any, control over adults. But to make my point, I think there's a misconception that, well, he's been there 36 years. He runs he's bigger than the program. If I was gone today, this program would be fine. This program would do great. If 10 years from now, this program will do great. This is not Jim Boeheim. This is Syracuse University basketball program. It is not about me. It never has been about me. Roy Danforth won here, Fred Lewis won here, and the guy next, Mike Hopkins, will win here as well. It's not anything. I have no I'm lucky that I get dinner that I like at home. My wife determines what dinner's going to be, and I eat it.
After the Colgate game, you said something like, "Do you think anybody tells me what to do?" And then you looked over at your wife and said, "Excuse me."
She does.
When you make a remark like that,
well, sometimes
doesn't it sound arrogant and maybe like you're coming out bigger than the school?
Well, when I'm talking, everything has to be put in context, and I appreciate your question because it allows me to put that in context. When I mean, if I believe something's right, something that I need to do, I will do it. If I don't have an opinion, and somebody tells me what to say or do, and I don't have an opinion, I'm fine with it, then that's fine. But I'm talking more about coaching decisions. I'm talking more about who plays, who doesn't play. As far as if the chancellor of this university calls me and says, "Jim, this is what we're going to do," that's what we're going to do.
I think the question that was posed to you, though, was
about what I said, what to say.
Were you told to temper your remarks?
No.
You said, "Do you think anybody tells me what to say?"
And that's what I believe that, but in a broader context is what I really was getting to there. And as far as telling me what to say, this is my ideas and with help from somebody else. My statement the other night was my ideas with help from somebody else. I'm not very good at writing things down, and most would probably say I'm not that good at speaking either. But when I made that statement, I was more in the general sense, like, if I don't want to say that, I'm not going to say it if it's something I feel is not something I can say. If it's something that people suggest to me or somebody suggests this statement and I feel that's good, yeah, then I'm going to say it. But I think if you're an adult in this world, you have to do what you feel is in your heart to do. And, Julie and I have been working with kids in this city for years and we'll continue to, and, all kinds of kids. And that's what we're going to do, and we're going to continue to do it.
Coach, why is it important to have that separation that you talked about?
I think it's important. I don't think any coach should have any say in anything. I don't have any say in the budget, how we travel. That's all up to Dr. Gross. He makes those decisions, and it should be that way. If I ask him something about, well, can we do this, he'll listen, and sometimes we can and sometimes we can't. But it never should be the coach's decision as to what goes on, other than his players, what they're doing. These are university events. I wanted to build a practice facility in the worst way for 15 years, and I couldn't get it done. Couldn't get anybody to do it. And Dr. Gross came in, I pushed him, we talked about it, and he and the chancellor said, that's a good idea. Let's go raise the money. But, that's a good idea, and it's helped us tremendously. I wish we'd had it sooner, but it's helped us tremendously.
Your statement earlier seemed to indicate, and just for clarity, seemed to indicate that you still have questions about the allegations.
No, that's not what I said. I've never said that in any way, shape, or form.
As coach of this program, what is your responsibility on that staff? What do you think, do you hold any responsibility?
Ultimately, the head coach is responsible for everything. I think you knew that, didn't you?
What do you hold yourself responsible for?
Everything that I can control, I hold myself responsible for.
Have you talked to Coach Fine since the firing?
I'm not going to talk about any communications like that.
What do you think of Rakeem's game? He got more time on the court tonight than he's gotten.
Yeah, I thought he was better. Michael was the most impressive, one of the most impressive to me because he said struggled to get into our plays. And I think he didn't hear me a couple times when I called a play. And now I think he's hearing me better.
19 points for James Sutherland. What did you like about the way he responded after not scoring in the 2 games?
About everything, I thought. I liked everything. We see his own defense, James' eyes get big. He's just got to get his eyes big when we see a man-to-man. Yes, sir.
Will James be playing against Florida upcoming this weekend?
Well, let me see. Whose decision is that?
Yours.
Oh, that's mine. We'll find out Friday night. We'll see. We'll see Friday night.
Coach, now 4 games with Jerry McNamara as an assistant coach. What does he bring for the team in the assistant coach?
Well, I think the great thing with Jerry, he's been with us. He's the guard. He's played guard here. He knows the position. He's working with the guards. So I think it's an easy transition. And Mike has worked with big guys before, so that's been a good transition. The staff has done a great job, a tremendous job. And the last thing I'd like to cover, because I've heard this a lot, the players will not be distracted. We may not win every game. If we lose a game, it's not going to be because they're distracted. They're going to play. We'll keep them focused. The important thing as a coach that you try to teach your players from the first day they get here is that they have to be focused when they come in, 2.5 hours. They got 21 and a half hours. They can do other things and what they feel they have to do. But for that 2.5 hours, we put everything behind us. As a coaching staff, we actually work a little bit more than that, but we're going to be focused when we have to be. And when we get out on the court, we're going to be focused again, and then we're going to get ready for the next game. And that's what you do. I mean, that's what you have to do as a coach. And if you ask your players to do that, then you're going to do it. And I think when people talk about focus, whether it's this or distractions, whether it's this or a girl, whatever it is, those are excuses. We do not make excuses.
Coach, when you heard the audio tape,
I didn't hear the tape. So
no, you haven't heard it?
No.
Doesn't affect the team?
Pardon?
Are you saying the situation does not affect the team?
Does not. That's right.
Are you curious about the tapes, or I just want to know why you haven't heard it, because everyone else in this room heard it?
As soon as we get the information, nothing, one thing or this thing or that thing, we got to wait until we get all the information. Then, then we'll go.
Thank you.
The only thing I know for sure is, I didn't know that. Thank you.
Thank you.